If you have a brand, a budget, and a bold idea, you can win the market or you can lose your dignity under 6 months. We're looking at Nagad's Chhoy Bekub campaign. We have all heard that humor sells. It's the golden rule of advertising. But there's a thin line between being witty and being hurtful. Today, I want to talk about what happens when a brand crosses that line, specifically the story of Nagad's this campaign. To set the scene, it's 2021, bKash is the giant. They aren't just a company, they're a household name, they're a lifestyle brand. People literally say bKash Koro instead of send me money. Then there's Nagad, the ambitious challenger. They were growing fast, backed by the government of Bangladesh, and they were hungry to take the crown. We're going to walk through this in three acts. Firstly, the aggressive campaign that started the fire in February. Secondly, how bKash chose to respond with heart and instead of heat. And finally, the moment of the central bank of the Bangladesh government stepped into the pull the plug. On paper, this was destined to be a hit. You had Mostofa Sarwar Farooki directing, and a cast of the most beloved faces in Bangladesh, Chanchal Chaudhary, Musharraf Karim, and many more. They spent 10 days filming in the heart of Dhaka's market. It felt like a cinematic dream. But then there comes this one line, bote bekub, not a no good. They're essentially saying that if you use the B brand, you're a fool. It was clever, it was catchy, it was sketchy, but it was a direct punch to the face of their competitors' own customers. The buzz was huge. The mood shifted quickly, and by March, the what started as a mere viral joke turned into a regulatory nightmare. The smart choice was starting to look like a massive strategic blunder.
So, why didn't it work? It boils down to four human errors. One, they gave their rival free rent in the audience's head. They insulted the very people they wanted to win over. Thirdly, they lost the seriousness required for an MFS. And lastly, they forced the government to step in. The first mistake was brand parasitism. By constantly attacking Ball, Nagad kept bKash at the center of the conversation. They weren't just building their own house, they were just throwing stones at someone else's, which only reminds them of how big the other house is. This is the most important part. You can't just insult someone into liking you. When you call bKash users a fool, you aren't attacking a company, you're attacking that person's judgment. It didn't make people want to switch. It made them feel defensive and angry. At the end of the day, we're talking about money. When it comes to our hard-earned savings, we want a brand that feels like a guardian, not a comedian. Nagad traded their corporate gravity for a few laughs, and in the process, they made themselves look a little bit immature. They fell into the classic challenger trap. They were so focused on the feud that their actual innovations, like the 167 dial-up registration number, got buried under the noise of the fight.
To be fair, the execution was brilliant. The dialogue was catchy, the acting was superb, and the people definitely remembered the ad. From a purely creative standpoint, it was a work of art. From a strategic one, it was a landmine. The real failure was a lack of sympathy. They chose a tabloid voice for a financial service. They went for the quick win, the viral click, and they sacrificed the long-term aspect of the market. But bKash's response was fascinating. They didn't just hit back. They didn't call names. They just reminded people why they were the first place. They took the high road. They reframed the letter "ba" to Bishwash, trust. They leaned into their 10-year relationship with the people. They stayed professional while Nagad looked aggressive, and the dignity won the day.
Then the referee stepped in. Eventually, the parents entered the room. Bangladesh Bank called both companies in and told them to stop. They reminded everyone that there are rules to a competition, and malicious hacks have no place in a healthy market. The message from the central bank was clear. Play fair or don't play at all. This wasn't just a slap on the wrist. It was a warning that the integrity of the entire mobile financial system, or MFS, matters more than a marketing war. The regulatory action then detailed led to a policy violation, prohibition, future guidelines, and then the both parties were warned. What we learned was simple but deep. You don't insult the customer, you own your alphabet, and regulation is always a stakeholder. Aggressive IMC doesn't exist in vacuum. Humor is a bridge, but trust is the foundation. If you use humor to brand bridges with your audience, you have already lost. As you can see, we look at our brands and let's ask ourselves, are we talking to our customers or are we talking down to them? Let's build brands that people feel proud to be a part of. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.